Happy birthday to me, happy birthday to me, happy birthday dear Greeno, happy birthday to me. Hi folks, Greeno here, and I got a spring in my step today because I am filming this video on my birthday. Another year older, another year wiser, well, another year older at least, eh? And it's a glorious sunny day here, even though we're in the middle of November, down in Dorset. The sun shines on the righteous, they say. That must be true, huh? So, where exactly am I? I'm at the Castle Point Shopping Centre in Bournemouth. Reason I'm here? Behind me here is a large branch of M&S. Now, I haven't come down here to spend all my birthday money on new pants and vests and socks. I haven't quite reached that stage in life just yet. I have come here because M&S is one of the first places that have brought out their Christmas special menu. Now, I'm going to be featuring a few of these over the next few weeks, but M&S seem to have jumped the queue, released stuff pretty early. So we're going to get in and see what they've got on the menu. Now, M&S, are you going to get Greeno's birthday green light? We'll have to get inside and find out, won't we? Come on. Oh no, I can see a bit of a Father Ted moment coming on here. Right then guys, I am in and I am seated. Really busy in here. So I've hit this 1:20. I actually first came here just before 12 and there was a huge queue at the tills. Even coming this time when I think a lot of people will have already had their lunch and moved on, still incredibly busy. Bit of a bun fight to find a table, to be honest with you. So you have to go up to a counter and order. There are certain bits you can pick up, like sandwiches and cakes and stuff like that. Anything hot, you just order it at the till. They give you a little buzzer. It's like a little tracker and they will come over and find me as soon as it's ready. So, what have I ordered from the Christmas special menu? We have gone with chicken Schnitzel. Sounds interesting. Apparently that is served with cranberry sauce and mayo kind of drizzled all over the top, and roast potatoes. I've got some pigs in blankets. If they're on a menu, you've got to have them, haven't you? A cheese board toasty, which apparently is a Christmas special thing here. And I've ordered a little side of gravy with that. Bit of dipping going on, I reckon. And we have a spiced Christmas tiffin, which is this thing here. Covered in pistachios and what looks like freeze-dried raspberries. Nice little sweet thing there too. I've got a drink. It's not a Christmassy thing. It's just an apple and elderflower drink in a can. Total price, £23.95 for all of that. So the Schnitzel's £9.95, pigs in blankets £2.50, the toasties £6.50, little side of gravy 50p, the tiffin's £3 and the drink £1.50. So yeah, £23.95 overall. We'll see if it's value for money when the hot food gets here. So like I said, lots of places are going to be starting to drop their Christmas menus any day now. I think some places already have, and throughout the month of November, kind of staggered at different times, other venues will be. So let me know in the comments section down below if there's anywhere you think I should be reviewing in the run up to Christmas. There's lots and lots of different places we can pick from. Could be a real cheap budget kind of thing, could even be high end, whatever. But if there's something you want to see featured on the channel, let me know and it might just make it. We've got to say the cafe in here is quite nicely laid out. There's lots and lots of tables and not too close together. A few of them are a little bit. But there's nice little booth seating. There's seats like I'm sat on with just normal seats. And where I'm sat is right next to a window. I mean, it's only overlooking a car park, but it's nice on a day like today where the sun is shining to look out into the big blue sky and rows and rows of cars. So while I'm waiting for the food to turn up, let's give this little drink a try. Like I say, it's nothing Christmassy in it. It's 60% juice. It says apple and elderflower with sparkling spring water. So that's what's going to give it the little fizz, I guess. Apple and elderflower, quite a nice little combination together, isn't it? You can definitely smell the elderflower in there. Nice and cold. You can pick up that little sweetness from the apple, and that distinct elderflower flavour too. It's not bad. Right then folks, food has arrived to the table. Why don't you come and have a closer look at what I got? Okay then folks, I have to say, this actually smells pretty good. Nice little aroma coming from that Schnitzel, the sauces on the top, and from that gravy. Now, I think I got upsold a little bit when I didn't need to be honest, because there's a side of gravy comes with these pigs and blankets, and the lady at the till asked if I wanted a gravy to go with the cheese toasty. Cost me an extra 50p and I've got 2 pots of gravy now. In fact, we will start with these pigs and blankets. Now, these, I think it was £2.50, and what we've got here is 4 little cocktail sausages, wrapped in bacon, and a little pot of gravy. So one of these pots of gravy is to go with the cheese toasty out the way there. So, yeah, £2.50 for that as a little side. I mean, it's okay, isn't it, you know? So, let's get one of these off of here. They look quite nicely cooked. The bacon seems to be a little bit sort of browned and crispy on the outside. We'll try it as it is first, and then we'll get one into the gravy. The sausage is a fairly basic sausage, it has to be said. It doesn't have that really kind of meaty, firm mouthfeel that you really want from a sausage. It feels a bit just like a cheap catering sausage. But the bacon on the outside has got a really nice pronounced smoky flavour, which adds a lot to this, to be honest. It'd be really bland, I think, if it didn't have that. Let's try this gravy, though, with it. So, and it's quite a sizable pot of gravy, just for 4 little pigs in blankets, it has to be said. Let's see what this does to the thing. It's not the thickest gravy either, it has to be said. Quite thin, but as long as it's got a lot of flavour, that's what we're after, isn't it? So let's give it a try. The flavour's not that great, not that pronounced. I mean, you can see here, it's very, very thin and runny. In fact, you could probably pick it up and drink it like a soup. Let's just do that and just to try the flavour of the gravy. It's quite a light gravy. I'm guessing it's probably a chicken or turkey gravy, something like that. It doesn't have that sort of beefy punch. But it's okay. It's okay. Like I say, I just don't think it is great. So let's move these pigs in blankets out of the way a second, and we'll bring in this cheese board toasty. Now, this has got 3 different types of cheese on it, and I did take a photo of the label before I handed it over to be cooked, so that we could see exactly what those cheeses were. So if I can find the picture on my phone here we go. Farmhouse cheddar, red Leicester, and Emmental with port and onion chutney. Sounds all right, doesn't it? So 3 different cheeses and a bit of festive chutney in there. And have a look at this. Cheese pull, that's what we're after. So the cheese is nicely melted, and you can see the different colours of the cheese in there. Look quite nice. Now, what I will say, the top of it feels nice and crispy. The bottom of it, because it's sat on a plate, is getting a bit kind of that toast sweat thing going on. So we'll turn that piece over, and hopefully that'll evaporate away a little bit from there. So, just looks like a sort of regular white bread. There's a little bit of herb, I think, added on the top of it, and then all that cheese and chutney inside. That's nice, actually. I like that blend of cheeses. There's a lot of cheese in there. You can pick out the sharpness from the cheddar. And there's a nuttiness as well, which I guess is coming from that Emmental. The red Leicester is kind of a little bit lost in the mix, but I guess that's as much for colour as anything. You've got that port and onion chutney in there, and the onion flavour is actually quite pronounced, so it's like a sort of cheese and onion. And you can see inside there, you've got the red onion, you can see quite easily in there. I'd say the flavour of it is pretty good. And that top part, where it's crispy, I really like. As I say, it's just a bit disappointing in that bottom piece, where it's gone a little bit soggy. Just getting that toast sweat thing going on. Now this, I was upsold this pot of gravy, which I definitely don't need. But we're going to dip the toasty into it. That was why she asked me if I wanted to order it. So let's see what that does to this. It's okay. I don't think it really adds anything in particular. You get a little bit of savouriness from it. But it does detract a little bit from the cheese flavour. So, yeah. If you're going to get this cheese toasty, I'd recommend just order the toasty. Right, so on to this, the main event here. We've got a chicken schnitzel. Like I say, covered with cranberry sauce, and they've not been shy with it, it has to be said, and mayo. 5 little roast potatoes here, and a bit of rocket for garnish. Seems a little unnecessary, that, to be honest with you. And do you know what we're going to do? We're going to bring one of these gravies in, because that's going to be useful for the roast potatoes, I reckon. They look a little dry. We'll start with that, the roast potato. Again, if I'm honest, looks like Aunt Bessie's to me. I don't think this is something that's been made on site, certainly. I'm guessing these are out of a freezer bag and either heated through in the oven or even deep fried. The inside looks okay though, and the colour on the outside is alright, it just looks a bit dry. It's just like an Aunt Bessie's spud. Let's get it in that gravy, moisten it up a little bit. Now you see, with this dish, the gravy is working nicely. It's just definitely improving those potatoes. Right, onto this schnitzel. Now, it's a chicken schnitzel, and of course schnitzel traditionally made with veal, often found made with pork these days because people are a little bit squeamish about veal. Let's cut into it and see what it's like inside. So it looks like a really good thick one actually. Now schnitzel normally you think of as being pounded out very, very thin. But take a look at this. I mean, that's basically just like a sort of a whole chicken breast that's been pounded down a little bit. Now, if I make chicken schnitzel at home, you normally cut a chicken breast into 2, maybe even 3 pieces and really flatten it. This is quite thick. So, we got it a bit here with all the breadcrumbs on, with a bit of the cranberry, with a bit of the mayo. Let's give it a try. That's really rather tasty. The chicken is nicely cooked. It's nice and moist. The breadcrumbing, it really works. It's nice and crispy. And the sauce is on the top. The mayo gives a creaminess. And you got that sweetness from the cranberries. I mean, is it what I would really call a schnitzel? It's more just like a breaded chicken fillet. And schnitzel, like I say, you'd expect to be bashed out a little bit thinner than this. But the flavour of it is good. Obviously you get that Christmas vibe from the cranberry sauce. We're going to try this into the gravy too. So we're going to get that sweet and savoury and creamy from the mayo as well. It's actually not a bad combination, that. Right, I'm going to finish up a bit more of this, and when I'm ready we'll come back for the special festive tiffin cake. Looking forward to that. Okay, well I think it's fair to say, a bit of a mixed bag from the items I've had so far. The toasty was pretty good, the schnitzel itself, not too bad. Roast potatoes and pigs in blankets, a bit on the ropey side. But we still have this tiffin to go. So, a little cleansing of the palate. And we'll give this a try. So as you can see here, nice sort of dense kind of cakey thing. Nicely decorated with some icing on the top there. What looks like freeze-dried raspberries and pistachios on the top. So let's try and break it in half a little bit so we can see inside. There we go. Let's give it a try. So obviously there's little bits of biscuit in that base. It's quite a dense... I'm not even sure cake is really the right word for this sort of thing, is it? It's almost like a biscuit. The predominant flavour you get from the outset is from those little freeze-dried raspberries. And they're quite a pleasing flavour too. They're a little bit sharp. And obviously you've got what appears to be white chocolate on the top there. And a little bit of milk chocolate design. A lot of sweetness from this base. With those little biscuit pieces in too. So that little sharpness from the raspberry really does help to balance things out. I can imagine if you just came here, middle of the afternoon, you want to sit down with a cup of coffee, cup of tea, and just a little bit of something sweet to give you a little sugar hit, a little boost mid-afternoon. This would be really, really tasty. I mean, give me this over a mince pie any day. It's got a little bit of that Christmassy kind of flavour in there. I'm picking out a bit of dried fruit. There's raisins and what have you in there. But again, give it a nice kind of little flavour profile. That is actually really rather good. Okay then folks, so I'm going to finish up my can of apple and elderflower, enjoy my spectacular view of the car park, and I'll catch you after and we'll sum it all up. Right then folks, so I've finished up there in the Marks & Spencer's Cafe and I've come outside now to catch a little bit of sunshine before I head home. I know it seems to be going in behind the clouds a little bit now. Them's the breaks. So, what did I make of the lunch? Well, I've made some notes here on the receipt, which will help me explain it to you. So the chicken schnitzel itself, I gave a 3.5, and the spuds on the plate just a 2, because I think the schnitzel was much better than the spuds were. I'd have preferred the schnitzel to be a bit thinner, but it was crispy enough, and the sauces worked pretty well with it. The spuds, they were just Aunt Bessie's, to be honest with you. Pigs in blankets, bit of a nothing really. I've given them a 2.5. The bacon on there was quite nice. The sausages themselves weren't the best, and the little gravy dip it comes with didn't really add anything, to be honest with you. It was quite watery, it was pretty bland. The cheese board toasty, now this was one of my favourite items. I've given that a 4 out of 5. The flavour of the cheese was great, and the little oniony element in there too really, really did add to it. Just a little bit of a shame that there was that sort of toast sweat going on the plate. There's not much you can do about that, I suppose, but it did detract from the whole experience a little. The extra gravy that got sold, I'm giving that a 2 out of 5. First of all, because I didn't really need it, because I had the gravy on the other thing, on the pigs in blankets. And second of all, because it's just not very good gravy. Finally, the spiced Christmas tiffin. Now, this was a little treat at the end of the meal. My birthday cake, if you will, on a fairly average birthday lunch. But that was really good. I've given it a 4 out of 5. I liked the consistency of it. I liked the little bits of biscuit, the little bit of raisins in the bottom of it. And the toppings were pretty good too, with the pistachio, with the little freeze-dried raspberries, adding little things to the whole thing. I reckon if you were to sit down with a nice cup of tea, mid-afternoon, when you're on a shopping trip here at Castle Point, that would perk you up beautifully with a nice brew, wouldn't it? So, overall, 6 items scored there, and the total is 18. A-level maths I got back in the day, so I should be able to work out that gives me an overall score of 3 out of 5, which I think is fair. 3 out of 5, slightly better than average because of a couple of decent elements, but yeah, nothing too special. So what I'm going to ask you guys to do is pick me somewhere better to go for a Christmas meal of sorts, whether it's something like this, which isn't a Christmas dinner, just some sort of festive specials, or whether you know someone that does a really cracking roast turkey with all the trimmings. Let me know, and as you know, I always read all the comments and always try and reply to all of them if I can too, so you know it's going to get seen. You never know. the place you recommend might just end up on the channel. Okay, I'd better be heading back to Greeno Towers now. By the time I get back, the kids will be getting back from school, Mrs. Greeno will be getting back from work, and the birthday festivities can begin. I don't know what the birthday festivities are, but whatever they are, they can begin. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you'd like to like the video, thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff. You know I always appreciate it. Until the next time, I will see you then. Bye for now. Happy birthday to me, happy birthday to me.